All right, in this video, we're going to talk about solving proportions. So something I've done before, why I've solved a proportion is I was like baking a cake. I bake a lot. That's why all my examples are about cakes and cookies. But I accidentally added too much of one ingredient. So then I needed to know how much to add of the other ingredients to make sure that my cake or my cookies still turned out okay and like they tasted the same and they baked the same, so that they would turn out the same as if I hadn't made that mistake. So just like a little example. There's other examples. That's just one that I use. There's lots of others, okay? So we're going to say that we can solve a proportion. Okay. So we're going to focus on the steps first, and then we'll get into like some application, word problem, when might you see this in real life, stuff like that. Okay? All right. So the instructions will say something like solve for x so that the ratios are proportional. Okay, so I see that I have two ratios, but one of them, instead of having a number, has a variable. So first, I'm going to write my ratios as fractions. So 7 over 13 and 21 over x. So instead of that number, I'm just putting my variable. Okay, and then I'm going to cross multiply. I'm going to do 7 times x and 13 times 21. And I know that these are equal because they're proportional. Okay, I'm setting it up so that it will equal each other and it will be proportional. So I can put equals. Okay. All right, 7 times x is 7x. 13 times 21 is 273. Then I draw a line through my equal sign. So it's just the cross multiplying. So I'm going to solve for the variable. Right now I have 7 times x. Okay, so I'm going to divide by 7 on both sides. 7x divided by 7 is 1x. 273 divided by 7 is... typed that wrong. 273 divided by 7 is 39. Okay, so like doing a little cross multiplication, but also solving. Maybe some of you have done this a little bit before. Great. If not, that's okay. So we're going to add some layers like fractions and word problems and stuff. We're just getting the steps down. All right, this one says, find y so that the ratios are proportional. It's already set up in fraction form for me, so all I have to do is cross multiply. So I'm going to do 3 times 24. I'm going to be equal to y times 9. Okay, 3 times 24 is 72. 9 times y, or y times 9, is just 9y. I draw a line through an equal sign. Right now I have 9 times y. To undo multiplication, I'm going to divide by 9. 9y divided by 9 is just 1y. 72 divided by 9 is 8. So if instead of y, I put 8 back in there, it'll work. And I'll show you how to check. Okay, so instead of y, I'm going to put 8. Okay, And if I reduce this ratio, I can divide these both by 3. I should get 3 over 8. So those are proportional. Okay. So it even works with fractions and decimals. Okay, so I'm going to do 1/5 over 2 and n over 6. Then I'm going to cross multiply 1/5 times 6 and 2 times n. So if I do 1/5, oh, you can't see my calculator. I'll zoom out. Okay, so if I do 1/5 times 6, I get 6/5 equals to n. Draw a line through the equal sign. I need to divide by 2. So 6/5 divided by 2 is 3/5. All right, and then let's do a word problem. In order to make magenta paint, Christian needs to paint or mix a ratio of 3 parts red to 2 parts blue. If he already added 5 parts blue, how much red should be mixed to properly make magenta? Okay, so I need to have my ratio of what he's supposed to do. Let's say recipe. Okay. And he needs 3 parts red to 2 parts blue. Then from what he has already mixed, he's already mixed 5 parts blue. Okay, so this one was red and this one was blue. Right, I'm doing the ratio of red to blue. Okay. So his amount of blue is going to go in the same spot as blue. So it's going to go after the colon. So 5 goes here. I don't know how much red, so that's where my variable goes. So R. Okay. So you can write your ratio as you need. Just make sure that you put the reds in the same spot and the blues in the same spot as each other, okay? So now I'm going to write them as fractions, 3 over 2, then R over 5. I'm going to cross multiply 3 times 5, and 2 times R. 3 times 5 is 15. 2 times R is 2R. Need to divide by 2. He needs 7.5 parts red. So if he was doing scoops, he would need 7.5 scoops. If he was doing, you know, like pints, he would need 7.5 pints of red, or quarts, or I don't know how much paint they're making. All right, but that's it. So you just set up your proportion, put your variable where you don't know the number, and then solve it, like do the cross multiplying for a proportion, and then just solve the equation. And that's it for now, guys. So you got the practice on the back. You got this.